Hey Clout Chasers, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mousy and I am the ultimate SL Clout Chaser. Today's Thursday, almost Friday. I'm so happy about that and I'm here with some lovely ladies, my lovely co-hosts for another episode of Second Life Roundtable. And if you didn't know what the premise of this show is, it's basically like Jada Pickett's Red Table Talk, where you get like deep, intimate, vulnerable moments along with the view, so you hear many different perspectives on a particular topic. So, guys, we are at Luxe LA NoHo. It's an RP luxury community. It's amazing. There are amazing rentals here. I will leave the description below. Angel is a really talented designer. As we twirl around from person to person, just take in the beauty of this restaurant and just times it by infinity, and that's what this sim is. She's also working on another sim. It's Luxe LA Soho. I'm going to film it and show you guys around. It's going to have an aquarium, a Whole Foods, and tons of great stuff. And I wanted to tell you about it last time in the beginning of the video, but I did it at the end, so I just wanted to share that with you now. So I'm heading over to Adore. Hi, Adore. How you doing? How are you doing?
Hey bitches, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
What are you working on?
Okay, so I really wanted to talk briefly about my new reality show. It's called Keeping Up with the Femmes. So if you're familiar with obviously pop culture and the Kardashians and you know exactly what the show's gonna be, it's me and my asshole sisters getting into lots of shenanigans. So you should totally check it out because it's gonna be a really exciting show. So yeah.
So, Adore, I did have a chance to check it out, and I just want to confirm, were you webcamming to pay rent?
I'm not proud to talk about it, but yes, I was. I really was. I was embarrassed to be caught by my sisters, but someone has to pay the rent.
So, guys, as you can tell from my question, it's a really fun show. You guys definitely have to watch it. Adore also has Adore's Top Model. Season 2 just wrapped, which
hmm
was amazing. So, check that out as
Lots of
well.
drama.
Lots and lots
Lots
of
of
drama.
drama.
Lots of
Real
drama.
drama though.
I'll link the playlist below for you guys if you're interested. And if I didn't mention it, this topic is going to be SL relationships. You'll see it on in the title anyway. So, hey, Junie, how are you? Welcome back.
Mousy, it's Junie, everybody. I am Junie, also known as Pixel Chick Simmer, and I'm working on a couple different things right now. I'm working on my YouTube channel. I'm also working on clothing and jewelry for my line here in SL. I'm also working on a little story for this game called Episode Interactive. So I'm not going to talk too much about it right now, but maybe in a future video, I'll let you guys know about it a little bit more.
That sounds really interesting. So, is it one of those app games that you play where it says you meet this guy? Do you stop and talk to him or go to class because you're late? Like, kind of a scenario based tech system?
Yes,
Awesome. That's really
exactly.
interesting. And Junie's store is called Horoscope, and I will put the link below if you guys are interested in anything that she sells. She has one or two items up because you just started, right, June? Okay, awesome. Hey, Crymson, welcome back. You are like the Clout
Hey.
Chaser favorite, just FYI, in case you didn't know.
You keep on getting me here right at the right time.
So, welcome. What do you think you have to add to the SL relationship topic?
Well, I'm getting married, and that I met in SL over a decade ago on Saturday. So, I know a couple of things about relationships.
Yeah, so you're getting married to someone you met over 10 years ago in SL. Yes, I would think that qualifies you as somewhat of an expert. Guys, Crymson is CSR extraordinaire for the Genus head. I said it properly this time, guys. And you're also
I don't have
working.
my water.
Yeah, you only have water, no shots. Oh, wait, do you have liquor today?
No, I have only.
Okay. Crymson, you're cutting out a little bit, so I don't maybe change the region
Oh.
again.
Okay. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, it's okay. And then I also wanted to add, you're also working on the mesh project right now?
Mesh Body, yes.
Mesh
Meshbody. Meshbody.com. They do legacy, they do classic, they do rookie. I am just there as a humble model.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thanks for coming back again. And last but certainly not least, we have Izzy Solstice. Welcome, Izzy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. Tell us what you're working on.
Well, I have been doing a little YouTube series on my channel, same username, Izzy Solstice, covering the fantasy fair. So if you're interested in that, go check out my channel.
So, guys, a lot of you have asked me personally to cover the fantasy fair. Izzy's actually doing it. So, if you want to see it, check out her channel. I will be sure to link it below. And thank you so much, Izzy, for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a question out to the group. And I guess we can all raise our hands or jump in, whoever wants to share. First of all, who at this table has had an SL relationship? I have.
Me.
So 2. Crymson, you'd be
Mhm.
3. And what about you guys, Junie and Izzy?
No, I have not had a serious SL relationship, no.
Okay, Junie?
I've had a real life relationship that's carried into an SL relationship.
Oh, okay then. So 4 out of 5, that's very good. So we'll talk about it from all perspectives, those of us who haven't had one or real life transition into SL, vice versa. And we'll start with you, Adore. What do you want to share about SL? Because some people say it's really hard to make a connection in SL because of the fact that, people hide behind their avatars and you're anonymous. So what do you have to say about that? Like, is it possible to make a real connection?
So here's the thing. I just want to start off by saying I got out of a relationship very recently, like almost a week ago, and I've been a really hot mess over it because, at least for me,
Aw.
that relationship specifically felt extremely real, and the feelings and the emotions and the conversations were very much so centered around like us being real people, not our avatars. However, in general, I do think that it's possible because again, you are talking to another human being. It's not an AI. But if people do choose to put up walls, such as let's say they don't want to do voice or they just want to roleplay, that's a whole different story. But to keep it short, I genuinely do think that it's possible. It's obviously a little hard because of the distance usually, but yeah, it's possible.
So I want to throw this out at the group, right? Let's say someone just wants SL only. Is it possible to make a
Hmm.
genuine connection with someone in Second Life if you don't want to involve your real life at all?
Oh, absolutely.
I agree with you. Tell us why, Crymson.
Well, I should say here, my current partner here, he is technically my 5th husband.
Wait, your fifth
So,
husband in SL?
yeah, I'm a little bit of Elizabeth Taylor when it comes to that. That being said, it is totally possible to have a real relationship here with somebody and keep it SL only. I mean, granted, end up sharing like emails or some way to chat outside of SL just because you can't log on to SL 24/7.
Mhm.
But it's definitely doable. You just have to set boundaries, you have to set limits, and you have to be honest with yourself and with others.
But I guess how real is the relationship if it's only in
Yeah.
SL?
I mean, it's as real as my shoes. It's as real as my love of, getting the latest dress. It's just because it's pixels on the screen.
Yeah.
And I have to say here with husband number 5, that really drove the point home.
Yeah. I will say this just from my perspective. Um, it's possible to have a SL relationship where you're creating a bond with someone, although you have no intention of seeing them in real life. So, on average, people who play SL, like, low key, this is kind of an addiction. So, you're on here a couple
Yeah.
hours of the day, like, and you're invested in your avatar and your look and your house that you have in SL and what you're doing. I had a video about SL jobs, for Christ's sake. So, that just gives you
Mm.
an idea of how much time people are spending. People are building businesses in SL. So you're spending quite a bit of time with one person. I would even dare say more than you would in real life in a particular day or week if you were just dating someone. Would you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
I mean, sure, but the only thing I disagree with is like if you have to put up a lot of walls and boundaries, like, oh, this is SL only, nothing else. You shouldn't know my name, you shouldn't know my face. I would not consider that personally to be real. Just the only thing I disagree with.
Okay.
If I'm may counterpoint here on that. I completely
Mhm.
understand your positioning here on that, but it also comes down here to what we were talking about with the jobs, roleplay.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, yes, the people may not be real, but it doesn't mean that the feelings aren't, you know?
Sure, but if it's role play, it's literally, you're playing a role. But when I think of relationships in general, or even over the internet, I feel like it's kind of a genuine connection that, again, revolves around being attracted to the person behind the screen. But if it's like very strictly, I like your avatar and who you present yourself as, like, I kind of question the, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Wait.
It can feel like it's not real, for sure. It can feel like it's nice and safe and contained.
Yeah.
I don't know if that feel is
the-
the right way. The perception can be that it's not real. Because I think if we talk about the feelings, right? The feelings of it all is you're saying who you're presenting yourself as, and I put air quotes up because it's the person's real personality, sense of humor,
Depends.
well,
Mhm.
okay, that's fair. That's fair. Give or take their dynamic with you. So that's what you're building on. It's like you're getting to know if they're not faking it, the real person more than
I mean,
maybe.
sure.
Okay, maybe then some people might present themselves a certain way because they have a certain title or they feel
Mhm.
that they're confined. When SL, you can be really free, right? You can be a furry, a dragon, anything you want. Whereas people feel maybe they're confined by their religion, their race, their culture. I think that the world opens up for you in SL to be kind of your true self. Or it can be
But what
idealistic.
Yeah. No, but what I want to do make extremely clear is for those
Hmm.
of you watching that are in an SO only relationship, I'm not invalidating you in the slightest. We're
Oh,
just all talking about like our personal,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
could never be in that relationship, but if you, the one watching right now, enjoy such a thing and it genuinely brings you happiness and you're completely fine with those limits, like I'm rooting for you, I really am. But for me, I could not do that. That's all.
Yeah,
that's fair.
and I understand your perspective as well, Adore, because I could see that you would say so. At the
Hmm.
end of the day, everyone wants to fall in love and live happily ever after. So, at
Very
what
true.
point do you leave the virtual world and enter the real world? And does it make the relationship real if you do? So, I'm gonna go to you, June. So, you said you have a real life relationship that transitioned into SL. What does that mean?
Okay, so I have a boyfriend in real life. We are long distance. So he lives in Illinois. I live in Indiana, so we live a state apart. Met online, so we met through a dating app, and basically we have been dating ever since. And I got into Second Life, and I was kind of like, "Hey, babe, like I really want you to join Second Life and like explore it with me. Now that we're in this quarantine, we don't really see each
Mhm.
other, so I hope that's okay that I said quarantine."
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. I gave up on
Okay.
trying to censor myself.
Okay. We don't see each other, so I was like, why don't we like hang out on Second Life? So that's what we did, and we just transferred it over to Second Life, and so we talk to each other and we see each other in
So,
Second Life now.
I feel it's a good tool for like long distance relationships because I have been in a long distance relationship online before when I was younger, not on Second Life. And I didn't really know what Second Life was. And I feel like if I did know that, like we could do a lot more and you could like explore, like you were saying. I think that's really fun. Yeah.
I agree with you, Izzy. June, what have you guys done together in Second Life? Besides the obvious.
Besides the obvious, we've gone on a couple of dates. We went surfing together. We went to dinner. We've had like a dinner date at home, and then we went out to dinner one time. So we've gone on a couple of dates and just done a few things together.
Okay. I'm gonna take it back and make it a little bit light before we get into Crimson because we want to hear all about like how you end up cultivating a relationship that led to a real life marriage. So, guys, if you've had SL relationships, where have you met your partners before? Like, where do you meet someone in SL? Because there are people who say, listen, SL is so dead, I can't even find friends. Like, how are you meeting partners to be on fifth husband and adore third husband?
I mean, in my case, my most recent boyfriend actually reached out to me through my videos. I think it was my tutorial video. He was like, "Hey, like I have a Second Life account, but I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me?" And then I helped him, and I slipped and fell into his penis, and then things happened.
Sorry.
Yeah, obviously it didn't work out, but like that's how I at least met my most recent relationship through YouTube. So
And how about you, Crymson? Your 5 husbands. How did you meet them?
Well, the first, I would say here, honestly, the first couple, my first husband here was actually my roommate at the time here, and we thought it was fun to be a lesbian couple on the internet. So I don't know if she really counts, but it was fun.
progressive.
Free love.
Oh my gosh, she was also my drummer, so it was great.
Ooh, okay.
She was drumming on a lot of things.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
was hitting
Right?
that beat, honey.
It's funny because you were talking about, the obvious the other day here, and like on the one hand, yeah, there's a lot of pose balls here in Second Life. Lots of fun things, but it's something here where some relationships don't really need, I know with me and Casey here, that was her name. It was great because we built this huge skybox, and we had like a drum set and guitars and everything like that. And we were there with our system bodies here, just blissfully unaware of how stupid we were. It was great.
And then say husband number 3, how did you meet him?
Husbands 2 through 4, I met at dance clubs. Husband number 4 turned into a more serious relationship, and I met him at Frank's place. Sadly, it's a place I don't go to anymore because of their personal stance on whether or not furries should be allowed. I get, every business has got to do their own thing. It's just, I like to be in places that are all inclusive.
We appreciate that. We wish everyone had that mindset, Crymson.
I agree. But how do you feel about those places that ban you if you use bloodlines or any other vampire hut? There's a lot of.
Wow.
If you're using it here like without permission, it becomes a spam thing. So I can understand that to an extent. On the flip side here, if you just have it on and then they're like, "Oh no, you're banned," that's not cool.
No, I've never seen that happen. I've only seen it happen when, like, let's say I remember a few years ago when I joined, my friend bit me with my permission, and then she like flew off the sim. So I was like, "Oh, okay," which is probably automatic. I understand why it's there, but I just thought it was interesting.
I have to say though, Adore, you would be like a gorgeous vampire. Seriously.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh
Imagine
my
all that
God.
Botox, like just never, growing old. I would love that. Trust me.
Yeah.
You'd be perfect at it.
Eternal fountain of youth. That would be awesome.
Yes.
Oh my god, for Halloween, you need to be like Count Adore.
Honestly, Crymson, I need you to like honestly make a male alt and be my boyfriend because like you uplift me so much.
I will totally make you a boy, like a BOI here that will just like follow you around.
Oh, do you think I'm a top? That's really cute. Okay. I appreciate that.
So guys, here's another example of how you can like cultivate an SL relationship. There may be some sparks flying between Adore and Crymson here. I'm totally kidding. All right.
Diva Love doesn't care about gender.
It does not.
So I was going to ask this. A lot of people say SL relationships start fast and burn just as quickly. What are your opinions on that?
2 weeks.
You
That
said
is
2
the
weeks?
average.
I
2
thought
weeks.
3
That is
Kind of
months.
is.
3 months here. Like if you're slower about it here and you nothing thing together, sure. But most relationships here, it's like within 2 weeks here, it's fizzled out.
Yeah, very true.
Why do you think that is?
Like, especially in the gay community, gay people love to rush everything. Like, a normal relationship usually goes, when I say normal, I don't mean heterosexual, I mean just in general. A normal relationship usually goes like, you meet, I don't know, you kiss, you have sex, and then you get into a relationship or something like that. For gay people, usually, and mind you, I am gay, so I know what I'm talking about. It's like, we fuck, and then we kind of ignore each other, and then we talk, and then we date, and then like a week later, I hate you. It's like that kind of thing, a lot. And I hate it. I hate it.
Okay.
Oh gosh,
But
that sounds like right out of Impossible Kimmy Schmidt.
I
Yeah.
love that
Say the
show.
gay community is the same in SL as in real life too.
It's very, very similar. Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Um, I think what happens from my perspective is, like I said, you end up spending so much time with each other. Like, so let's say you get off of work, you have dinner, and you don't have any other responsibilities, and you're on maybe from 7 to 10 until it's time to go to work the next day. You do that every day, and then maybe the weekends, you guys are spending an inordinate amount of time together outside of
Hmm.
errands. So you're just spending a lot of time. And if you're not spending time with each other, what I think happens is people have their alts, and then they're like, not monogamous.
Oh, that's a huge topic. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they're not
bro.
monogamous. So is monogamy even possible in SL? And I'm going to actually give this question to you, Izzy, because you've been quiet over there. And the reason
Okay.
I'm asking you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, is because you work as an adult entertainer in Second Life, and
Yeah.
who are your best customers?
Best customers are just the guys that want to talk. So I wouldn't say I've ever been in a monogamous relationship on Second Life, but I would say that I've made some really good friendships and really good relationships that you probably wouldn't come across in real life. So, people that I talk to every day on Second Life, and most of them are clients, and they come in and they just want to talk, and they just tell me about their day and their
That's
projects.
really cute. I like that. That's
Yeah,
adorable.
so because I have a real life relationship, I've been in it for
Hmm.
like 5 years, and they're totally supportive of what I do on Second Life. Like we're totally
Mhm.
open about it. So I think that's really rare. So for me to go into this and not look for a romantic relationship, I've actually come across just a lot of genuine friendships because I wasn't looking for love, and
Hmm.
a lot of them aren't either. Most of them aren't either, especially if they're going to adult clubs. I wouldn't say that's the place to go for actual
Connections, yeah,
love.
love connections.
No, but for if you're lonely and you have a life but you just want to chat with somebody, I feel like that's a good way to do that. So
But are any of your
I've actually.
clients, or I just want
Sorry,
to ask
Mosey.
one quick question. Are any of your clients partnered? Because I think that's what I was getting at, more
yes,
or less. So,
lots of them are partnered and even married and in
re-
Second Life and real life. So
see,
yeah.
and so that brings me to my question. Is monogamy possible in Second Life? Is that a realistic expectation of a partner?
I don't know.
I would
I guess it
say,
really depends on the person.
I'd say it
I
depends on the
mean,
person. I think it's possible.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it depends where you're looking for love and if you are doing role play or not, because I know some communities don't, even do role play. They're just looking for friends and stuff. So I guess it just depends how open they are with you and yeah.
Okay. So, Crimson, tell us about the epic love story, husband number five.
I don't know here. This goes way back here. Sell history books. Do you guys remember mob vens?
I've
Lucky
only,
chairs and mob vens?
I've only been on like almost 2 years, so I don't remember. I thought Disney was an actual company in SL at a point when you said you were a
Oh,
CSR rep. So I really don't know.
I'm so sorry about that. No, I should clarify, by the way, that was for Disney Online back in the
Yeah, you
day.
did.
But
You just were.
um, anyway, so there was a thing called a mob van back in the day, and in order to get the price to go down, you had to gather a bunch of people around the actual vendor. So, the more people around the vendor, the lower the price went for certain the items or whatever. This was back in the days where you could go to places like Dare Design or BB8 and get really, really cool, gothic clothes, basically for free.
Okay.
It was awesome. And so I remember exactly. This was called The Secret Garden, and the color was crimson. So I absolutely needed a dress. And I remember I was gathering everybody around, and I'm seeing your standard vampire crew, the paler faces and stuff like that. Everybody gathering around. Then I see a 6-foot fox walk up out of nowhere, and I'm like, huh, okay. And So I'm playing with the crowd here, and I accuse him of trying to tickle me with the tail. And he's like, "Well, yeah, it's part of my dastardly."
So you guys
Like,
got a little
okay.
flirty. Uh-huh.
Yep, totally. And so we started talking here, and we found out really strange here. He works in the place where, well, I live again now.
Okay.
It's been 10 years here, so we've been various places and stuff like that. But he works in the place where I live. At that time, he was living in the place where I worked. So it turns out here we had been passing each other on public transit every day.
That is so movie-like. I love it.
Right? Right? And it's like,
Mm.
as we talked more here, and we that's the thing here. That's why I was talking about, the obvious isn't quite the obvious here. Because I am not a furry, he and I have never pose-balled in Second Life.
Really?
So yeah, it's hilarious here to me because I'm a former stripper, former escort. I've pose-balled before, but I've never pose-balled with him because we're just kind of uncomfortable. When he's in his avatar, he's a fox.
Well, hit
Does
me
he
up when
have
you
a-
make a male happy.
Well, does he have a human avatar too?
Oh, he does. I've given him many human avatars over the years. He refuses to wear them.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what? Good for him. It's
Yeah.
something here where you're in Second Life. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Nice if I bought him. Anyway, so yeah, we found that here, and we went dancing here, and we just couldn't stop talking to it. It just, I honestly can't explain it. We're both geeks, and fell in love here. We did numbers finally, and we finally met up here at a McGuffey's pub outside of where I used to work. And
I'm sorry, Crymson, say that again because you cut out. You're cutting out a little bit, but we can hear for the most part. But McDuffie's pub where?
McGuffey's pub. It was right outside of where I used to work.
Okay.
I don't know if that place is even still there, actually.
Okay.
But I show up here, and I've got my hair all done, fancy, and everything like that. And I sit down. He shows up in a Canadian tuxedo.
Classy.
So
Love it.
classy. And he's got this like little embroidery over his pocket here, and it's got like books and this cat with glasses. And I'm just like, oh my god, are you my teacher or my date? And anyway, so he sits down here. We're both in a pub. He orders cranberry juice, and I order tater tots because apparently we're both 5. And it was great. He had recently lost his cat. Like she had died. He was really, really close to her. And he was telling me the story, and I remember I had never seen a grown man with that much emotion, something he loved that wasn't like a human.
Yeah.
And I remember his eyes were starting to well up here, and I just reached out my hand instinctively, and I knew this was the guy I've been with. I personally, I'm of the belief here that it takes a lot of strength for a man, especially in my culture, to show emotion for an animal, to show the kind of emotion that they deserve.
Yeah.
I'm not crying, you are.
That's
But
really
yeah,
sweet.
and
Yeah.
That's a really cute story. Oh my god. I want a love story.
I
Wow.
fully believe it's possible. We
Absolutely.
definitely got lucky. The fact that we're living, we were passing each other on what our public transit system here is called the Max. So we were passing each other on the Max every day. But I think here it's something where, after 5 relationships here, really, I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting this to burn out just like every other random relationship I've had.
Can you
And it didn't.
can you tell us like why your relationships failed? And I'm going to ask you Adore as well. Like you don't have to go into details, but like maybe just tell us, the person stopped logging in. Like I hear that a lot. Like what was the reason for the failure of this relationship?
Or do you want to go first, or should
I'll go second.
I? Okay. So I find here that the reason I say 2 weeks is because you get caught up in the romance of it all. Like, oh my God, they like the same things. They enjoy the same jokes. I often will start quoting Monty Python in the middle of a dance or something like that. And
Hmm.
usually if somebody reacts well to it, I'm like, oh my God, yes, they're my, you know, this is my, call it spirit lover, but can't.
It's like your spirit animal, like, or you just feel like this is like your kind of soulmate. And I use that term very
Thank you,
loosely.
soulmate. Yes, it was like, oh my God, they are my soulmate. They understand my Monty Python references. They know about, they know about Mortal Kombat for the SNES or something like that. You just get so wrapped up in the idea of love that you just go for it foolhardy. And then you realize here, like, life sets in. They don't have the same time zone as you, or
Yep. Hmm.
they don't have the same level of passion that you. Um, they just have stuff in their real life here that's kind of a weight on them, and they need to be free here in second. Everybody here has their own issues.
I remember when I first started Second Life, I think after 2 weeks, I was like in a serious relationship and married to someone and living on a sim. And then the guy told
Mhm.
me like that he was dying and that he had like some type of stomach issue, and I never heard from him again
Oh,
after like 4 or 5 months. And I
God.
was so devastated, and I thought something was wrong with him. But as I hung out in Second Life, I was like, maybe he was just over it. You know what I mean?
That is disgusting. People have done it to me too when I was younger. I remember when I was like, I think I was 14, I was like dating kind of like this boy over the internet. And then he was like, yeah, like I have cancer. And I would literally cry in my room like every night. Because like, I was young and I was very
Yeah.
gullible, obviously. And then like turns out he was like, yeah, well, I just, didn't want to tell you that I was a girl in real life and all this and all that. I just thought it'd be easier for me to like die than for me to
My
tell you that I
God,
was a girl.
But
I was
Adora
like
brings
so
up a
mad.
good point. Like,
That's mean.
what if someone is like, so, sometimes people use their avatar as an extension of themselves and this character in life that they want to
Mhm.
have in real life, but maybe can't have. And so maybe things are getting too deep, and instead of telling the truth, they have to find a way out. Like, do you think that plays a
Sure, but
part?
how about you don't fake your own death? Like
Yeah, well,
I've
I mean,
dealt with
that's
cancer
extreme.
specifically in my family.
Yeah,
In
that's
my
extreme.
family, like in real life, I've dealt with cancer, and it's like a fucking horrible thing. So, like, for someone to be like, "Yeah, I have this and this like illness," or "I'm gonna die," like it's extremely manipulative. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Under no circumstance do I like excuse it. Like if you're getting tired and you're like, what, like I just I got on this website, even if it's Facebook, I got on here to have fun and I'm not feeling it anymore, I can see into real, just fucking say that, or like, or even ghost them. Like obviously it's not a nice thing, but it's preferable to like faking your own death. I think it's absolutely gross.
yeah,
Well, I
for
hear
sure.
you. The thing here that I've learned over the years here with having a couple of people fake cancer and stuff like that.
Oh, so is this, wait,
Mm,
hold on, Crimson. So is this normal? You saying having a couple people? Because I was kind of stunned, like
yeah.
Adore was stunned that this actually happened. But yeah, so is this prevalent in Second Life where people fake diseases to get out of relationships?
I mean, it can be here if they don't
Yeah.
have, and give me here, this is not exactly a PC term, but if they don't have the cojones to own themselves and to own your relationship love, it's one way out. And it's a way out here that they think will hurt less than them saying the truth.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
That guy was weird anyway, because I'll tell you another thing that he did, because I was new. I barely knew how to walk, and I certainly couldn't cam or even join a group. Like, I was a mess. I was new. And I thought I looked good, and I went back to look at my avatar pictures, and I was laughing hysterically. June, you remember I shared those pictures with you, and you cried laughing, because I looked that bad. But
I
anyways,
want to see them.
it was really bad. But the point is this, like, he used to log in as alt, I'm realizing now, and like to see if I would cheat on him and stuff like that. So he's like kind of a little strange, a little off
That is so
anyway.
manipulative. That is so
Yeah, a little.
manipulative.
He was like a little crazy anyway. And I know that we're not making this sound like all SL relationships are positive, but we're just talking about some of the downsides of it, which is like,
Yeah, yeah,
early
yeah.
expiration date, maybe the ways that people end relationships, maybe infidelities. But obviously, there are ways to have successful relationships in SL. I've had successful relationships, even though they didn't end in marriage. It was great for what it was. You know what I mean? Like, it was
Absolutely,
great for what
absolutely.
it was. I enjoyed the time with the person. Sometimes I wish I could spend time with them again, but it just wasn't going to work long term. Maybe the person lives in another country, or the time zone, or real life happened to them, or life circumstances changed. So, what are the pros to some SL relationships?
But I just want to say though, like, what really sucks is that I keep falling for American guys, and I'm not American for those who don't know. I'm from Greece, and I live in Greece, so it's like it just really sucks. Like dating someone who is from the U.S. is like it's so hard. It just did not work out for me
But
ever.
yeah, no,
Is
Adore,
it
we're the
because of the
worst,
time?
honestly.
Wait, is it because
No, it's because
no
of the
the time
distance. I'm not
zone?
saying American
The
guys.
time zone? Yeah, I think that's what she's getting at. Because I have that issue with
No,
Adora.
the distance. It's mostly the
Yeah.
distance because my sleep schedule is usually so fucked that I have like an American type sleep schedule, like as if I lived in the US. But the issue is the distance. It's like so stressful for both parties. Like when you actually try to make plans, you're like, holy fuck, like I would need to sit on a plane for like 10 hours. Like this is, you know, like where would I go about what I do kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and not only that, it's 10 o'clock at night for us here. I'm on the East Coast. I don't know what time, and SL time is 7 o'clock. What time, or 6:45? What time is it for you, Adore?
4 a.m.,
You
almost 5 in
so
10 minutes.
time zone is a huge issue on a global platform. It's a
It is,
huge,
it
huge
is.
issue, and people bypass it initially, but then it catches up with you fairly quickly, like
Mm-hmm.
Crymson says.
Absolutely. Ooh, and the other thing here is that you start learning here whether or not you like the person as they for example, here where we're talking about the guys who were talking about cancer rather than, being honest with you. You
Hmm.
start to learn their characteristics here. And there are some people out there that are legit dying of cancer and legit need to end a
Absolutely.
relationship and stuff. But there's a lot more people here out there that are like, I want to live each day like it's the last one I'll live. And they feel that for, about a week. And then it's like a New Year's resolution and it's gone. It's just that's
Just
just the
at me next time. Just at me. I'd love the New Year. Just use
on.
my name. It's fine.
Oh,
Every year, what I do every year? I'm like, this year I'm gonna be less of a bitch and like not care about what people say about me. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like crying because like my friend called me a bitch or something. Like
oh,
it
same.
happens.
So, Adore, why are your relationships ending? Is it because of the time zone, or just personality conflicts? Or
It's
what?
both. I mean, I also think age plays into it because, mind you, like I'm younger than most people think I am. So
Hmm.
I don't think it's out of the blue for me to have like bad luck regarding relationships because like how many people do you know that have successful relationships at my age? Like, I think it's mostly the age. I think it just happens. You meet someone, you fall in love, it doesn't work, yada yada yada. I mean,
Uh,
obviously, I've had more serious quote unquote situations, but like I think age is mostly just
the downfall in this, because maybe you guys are not at the same place and don't have the same goals. Um,
and the
But
truth
I mean,
is,
it's very hard. Sorry, Crimson. It's very
oh, no
hard
worries.
to be in a relationship because I'm the kind of person that dates to marry. Like, I don't date someone with the mindset of like, oh well, it's gonna be fun for like 2 weeks. No, like when I date someone, it's because I genuinely love them. And at the age where I am, it's extremely impossible to make plans for the future when your future even has not even began. You know what I'm trying to say?
no, I totally
I
So
get
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do me for now.
I think it's a
It is what
smart
it is.
thing to date for longevity versus for like a hookup because I personally don't have the
Mhm.
emotional bandwidth to invest in anyone like that. So if I'm dating you, it's because I see something special in you and there's potential there.
Absolutely.
Okay, what were you
Right.
gonna
And
say, Crimson or Izzy? I don't know who spoke.
Crimson.
oh, that's probably me. I interrupt all the time. I'm sorry.
No, it's
You're good. You're good.
But I was gonna say here, in terms of that here, yeah, you're being honest with yourself about what you want. And the thing is here, it's really, really hard. I see it in my culture all the time. Guys, and for those who are considered masculine role,
wait, what is your culture? Because you keep
I
referring
was
to
gonna
it.
say that. Yeah.
just American,
Oh.
standard, just standard American here. I just try my best here not to
Assume, yeah.
that sort of American privilege. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also hear I'm from Portland, Oregon, so we tend to take things here like I don't know if you've ever seen Portlandia. That's
No.
Yeah.
basically a biography.
I gotta check it out now.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. But yeah, it's something here where it's harder for guys here to be honest about themselves and their sexuality because it gets really looked down upon. Like, hey, I'm a guy. I want to go have some fun.
Yeah, it's
Well,
toxic
then
masculinity. That's what we
exactly,
call it.
exactly. But
I'm
on
really
the flip side
surprised that
here,
you said that because I feel like in SL is sort of I feel like maybe the governor of SL isn't so accepting of the freeness that exists about sexuality and just wanting to have fun and explore yourself. However, I think the people of SL are kind of all on the same page where it's like, listen, in life, in the real world, in society, there are so many restrictions upon me, but here I can be whoever I want. I can explore myself sexually, and that's okay.
Very true.
And you're allowed to say, and I think you're allowed to say that. And I think there are girls who are a lot more willing to hook up in SL than they are in real life. And guys, you can let us know in the comment section below if that's absolutely false.
and that's the thing here. It's like the privileges that are afforded to one gender should be afforded to you regardless of gender, especially here. And it's something here where it's harder guys to not feel like a sleazeball. When they're saying, "Hey, I just want to dance and hook up. That's all I want to do."
Yeah, no,
And
when guys tell me, I've had many guys be like, you seem like a nice person, but like I just kind of wanna, smash. I respect that to like the highest level. Love that. Love when men are like, like I like you, I just wanna, put my dick in you. Applaud. Honestly,
exactly.
honestly, applause. Like I applaud that.
The
But
thing
when
is
guys
here,
play the long game, it's like, oh, I'm gonna make you fall in love with me, and then I'm gonna ditch you. And I hate that.
Yeah, honesty is
yeah,
better. Like, don't get people emotionally involved. I mean, because I think that
Right?
at least in SL, you can be honest about that. I have to say, um, Crimson, I do want to ask you something along the same vein. Do you feel like so a lot of times men on SL say that the women in SL are very stuck up, like, oh, she's hard to talk to, and so it's a two-part question. Do you feel like people have alts that are their representatives? Like, this is my mousy representative. This is the image I want to portray. I don't have an alt because I don't have the time, money, or energy to invest in an alt so I can live my wild
Oh,
fantasies
I
on
want to
SL.
comment on that after Crimson.
Yeah, but so if I'm whatever, like guys, you take me as you see me. I tell you, I have no qualms about saying I am not sexually repressed. I enjoy the adult side of SL. Like I enjoy everything it has SL has to offer, and I have no problem doing it under Mousy. But do you feel like people kind of create a split personality utilizing avatars in order to really enjoy SL?
I mean, sometimes, obviously, here it's like, forgive me, this is where I become a super ultra nerd, but it's like D&D. You have different character sheets for different things that you want to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's something here where sometimes people need anonymity. Sometimes they want to explore things here that are so taboo in real life here that cell's the only place they can explore it safely. I know that, again, back in my wild days, so to speak, I had people who were attracted to this app ever. I had people
You're
that
cutting
were,
out.
You said
oh,
people who are
sorry.
attracted to what? Say that again.
To some of the weirdest things here. I've had
Mm.
people who've asked me to fart for them because they are
Oh
attracted to
god.
that. It's strange. It's something here where I'm glad that they felt safe with me to ask that. It's something here where personally I'm not into that. So it's something here where, yeah, a lot of people here have alts because they're so afraid of the retribution of what they've built up in SL. For example, here, if myself, obviously here, I don't have that temptation to sleep around. I have an amazing guy. But I know that if I were caught out here at Mark's club every day of the week, I'm pretty sure I would hit SL Secrets and you'd be like, is Crymson sleeping around with her? Oh, if anybody cares.
Oh god, SL Secrets gives me like war flashbacks. Oh my god.
Yeah, but don't you guys think it's kind of sad that people have to create a third life for their second life? That's kind of sad. That says a lot about like society as a whole. Like people really don't feel comfortable being themselves.
I mean, listen, how I grew up, like,
sakes.
you know, I grew up, as I said, in Greece and everything, and I was raised by a Slavic mom, and Slavic people are like not with the shits. Like, you know, they're fairly racist, fairly homophobic, all that. So growing up, I was like, I mean, I was allowed to be emotional and all that. Like, my mom actually loves it, you know, when men are emotional. But the whole, like, me expressing interest in men or, like, feminine things such as makeup and wigs was, like, so heavily programmed into me that it's, like, wrong. That when I did get on SL, I had the ability to make a female avatar. And, you know, now I'm more comfortable with, like, you know, wearing makeup and wigs in real life. To the point where, like, I can go out looking like that. Because, like,
Adore,
Second
is
Life
there
has
anything that you wouldn't? Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off because you were sharing
Yeah,
something
go for
really.
it.
You were sharing something really important there, which is like SL has given you a vehicle that you can really express your true self without, you know, what was indoctrinated into you when you were younger.
Yeah.
But do you need a third life from Adore at this point to explore further?
That's a very good question that I don't know the answer to. I'm not gonna lie.
Permission to be a jerk here.
Yeah.
See, because I and Adore and everybody here who feels the whole third life thing is kind of weird. I love you all, and that's great.
I don't think it's weird. I'm just asking, like, why, if you're in a virtual world and you could be anything that you want, why are you putting restrictions on yourself?
I mean, look, Adore for me, like, is kind of, she's not a character, but she's like part of me that I love to amplify. Like the whole like diva thing, like shady, messy drama, this and that and this and that. But I mean, I think having to create like a third persona / third life is like a little sad, obviously. But you know, it does help some people, I guess.
I think it would be expensive and exhausting. Okay, Crymson, say what you were gonna say. What were you gonna say? Because I know you have a different perspective. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm a gamer. I mean, like, I'm the kind of person here that, you know, when I'm playing Zelda, I have 3 different save files because I might want to go out about it in a different way. You don't want to miss an item. I want to see different experiences here. For example, here I have a male alt. And like one of my favorite things to do with that male alt is to go to various dance places and see what it's like for the other, you know? And I'm not trying to ignore who I am or anything like that. It's just that everything about Crymson Marder here is the diva. People, you know, people see my name here, they see the Y, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're definitely." Or every once in a while, I get called Mr. Marder. But you know, it's like when I have my separate persona here out there, I can see what it's like. I come to SL because I want to see all of those experiences. I want to, you know, see what it's like here to be introduced. I want to see what it's like here if I hit on a woman, like what it's like here, you know, to get the attention back. I want to see where all these stuck-up broads are.
Well, do you guys think the women in SL are stuck up? Like when guys hit on you, and I'm gonna ask Junie and Izzy this because you guys have been a little quiet there, I guess because lack of experience in SL relationships. When guys hit on you in SL, I'll start with you, Izzy. Are you're not receptive because you're in a relationship, not necessarily because you're being stuck up, right?
Yeah, and I guess because my avatar, I'll add to that, like, basically this avatar is similar to me, but it is, like, catered to be a dancer, you know? So when guys hit on me and it's not in the club, you know, I try to just tell them, like, I'm a dancer escort on here, like, try to be transparent, be like, that's what I'm about on Second Life with this character, just to make money and talk to people. So usually, like, they're okay with it or not, and then they just, you know, go our separate ways. But I have thought about, like, getting an alt character just to, like, explore, you know, other parts, because, like, I have so many parts of my personality, you know? And when people see this avatar, it's kind of just like, oh, you know, they're a dancer or an escort or a fashionista or something. And like, you know, I kind of wanted to make like a witchy avatar and kind of like see that experience.
Hit me up.
So because like I am very witchy, but like in my real life, like everything is all in one person, obviously, but it's fun to like compartmentalize your personalities, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what Crymson was just explaining to us. So you just
Yeah.
just confirmed that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing
So
that.
I don't know. Yeah.
How about you, June?
Just
Yeah, when guys like hit me up and stuff like that, I just kind of either ignore them or I tell them like, hey, look, I have a boyfriend. And it's not like I'm trying to be stuck up or rude about it or anything. It's just like I have a boyfriend, so I can't really, you know, entertain them or anything like that. But no, I think it's okay to make an alt. I don't know. I know some people are like against making alts, but I feel like it's okay to like explore that other part of yourself that like maybe you can't
As long as
do
you're
on
not being
your main.
shady. Yeah.
As long as you're not being shady.
Yeah, as long as it's not to
exactly.
like hurt other people or catfish people or like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
troll
I think that's what
people.
people associate with alt is like catfishing and lying and cheating. But if it's for the purpose of just exploring, like go for it. Like you're a
Yeah.
grown adult, assuming you play Second Life. Anyone watching, like do what you want. Like stop getting this shit.
You know,
Yeah.
someone said something to me. They were like, "Oh, if I find out someone doesn't have payment info on their file, I know they're automatically suspicious that it's one of their ex-friends trying to find out things about them or do something weird." So,
Oh, we
yeah,
love paranoia. We love that.
Yeah,
we
that
love
sounds
paranoid.
paranoid.
I
I was
was
like,
gonna
"Well,
say I break her theory because I put a PayPal account on all of mine
you do?"
because
It's so
I
easy
am
to like.
lazy.
All right, so we're at 51 minutes. So we're gonna have to wrap this up because I know my clout chasers love this, but some of you guys maybe it might be too long for you. So, Adore, let's start with you. What are the pros and cons of SL relationships?
Okay, I will start with the pros. I mean, and I'm gonna try my hardest to not go too much. I think the pros would be, for example, you're safe. You're not in a position to be physically hurt. You know what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
And it's a very safe space to kind of explore your either identity or sexuality, or just kind of who you are as a person. Because once you start talking to people more, especially on the internet, it's kind of easier for you to learn things about people. Because people tend to be also the most honest when they're anonymous. Um, and also another pro, I mean, it's fun. And if it goes south, it's very easy to kind of get out of the situation. But a negative would be that some people do take it a little too seriously, and the sense of they could try to fuck with your real life, which has happened to me. It's very
Hmm.
scary. I don't know. I mean, that'd be it, I guess.
So that'd be a con. Yeah, I've actually experienced that too
Me
before,
too,
where
yeah.
someone tried to mess with your real life. Junie, what
Absolutely.
would be the pro and con? I know that you haven't had one, but in your RL to SL relationship, what are the pros and cons?
The pros and cons, I'd say the pro is like you have access to that person like in a way that's different from just texting. Like when you're texting somebody, like I know he tries to kind of argue with me, like it's the same as texting, but I feel like it's not. Like in texting, you can see like the screen of what they're saying, but when you're in Second Life, you can like kind of feel that other person through the screen in a way and do things with them that connect you guys in a way that's different than texting. And I'd say that the con would be that kind of opens the door to open relationships. If you don't like an open relationship, then I'd say that's a con. But if you are with open relationships, then that's a good thing. But yeah, it kind of opens the door to open relationships because it's like people can kind of see it as it's more like a game, or it's more like not as real, and so it's okay to flirt with other people, or it's okay to date other people, and it just depends on your perspective, kind of, if that's a negative for you or not.
Okay. And Crymson, what about you?
For me, the pro and the con are kind of the same thing. It forces you to be honest with yourself about what you want. It forces you to be honest with others and to take them at face value for what they want as well. Not just their words, but their actions as well.
Okay. So that's a
Sir,
pro
I don't
and
know
a
what
con?
happened.
It's a pro and a con here because with husband number 4, for example, I was head over heels in love. I sent their family Christmas gifts. I sent him a replica of the Master Sword from Zelda, like in real life, because I am the best girlfriend ever, just to be.
I get that from you,
But
Crymson.
but yeah, no, I was head over heels in love, and wasn't, and it's something here where it took me longer than I am. It took me longer, and I'm ashamed to admit here that it took me longer to figure out.
Oh, sorry that happens, but all's well that ends well because now you're married in real life and you're getting married in SL on Saturday, right?
Actually, I'm getting married in real life on Saturday. We've already been married in SL here for a year. We've been together for about 10 years now.
Congratulations! Oh my
Congrats.
I'm
God,
so
I thought you were
excited.
freaking right.
Thank you.
Cheers. Let's lift
Congrats.
our wine glasses to that for sure.
Cheers.
Yes.
Dude, if I could, you guys would all be my flower girl.
Aww. I would love
Well,
to come.
Hey, I mean, I'm in Washington. Come down
was
there.
gonna I was going to say here, right now, we have we have to have the preacher and our witnesses wear masks and gloves because of this whole
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that for a second. Wow.
So you didn't want to postpone
Yeah.
it, but I don't blame you. Like, just go for it.
Yeah.
It's been
I
10
think
years.
it's gonna be a
We've been
cute
living together
story.
here forever.
Yeah, go
So
for it.
it's just, yeah. I'm excited to get the legal part done. We'll do the whole shindig later.
Yeah. So next time, just a reception, which is going to be a lot more relaxing and fun. So Izzy,
Exactly.
what would be the pros and cons of SL relationships for you? And you didn't say this, but I'm assuming it's not happening. Does your boyfriend join you in SL to hang out or anything like that?
No, he doesn't join. Like, he's never played Second Life. He plays other games, but like, he's just never been into like roleplay games or like anything. I think he would be totally lost. I have like asked him, but he's like, no.
Oh, yeah,
I think we
no.
see each other enough in real life.
Once
But,
they get you in real life here, they don't log on anymore.
Yeah.
That's very true, right? Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
thing.
But I would say for pros, for people, like, you can explore places, you can, go on virtual dates, like for people who are in long distance relationships, like you can do stuff together, and that's really awesome. And cons would probably be just like if they're not open to you and you don't really know who you're talking to, like if they don't want to voice with you or like share any info, it can kind of be scary. So you always have to kind of deal with that when you're on online relationships. But yeah.
Is that a deal breaker for any of you when someone doesn't want to voice, etc.? For me,
You
it
know,
is.
for Adore, for the longest time I didn't voice. So it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I think once you're in an SL relationship, at some point you're not going to have a choice because it's just going to be too
Okay.
exhausting to type all this stuff out.
Yeah, and you want to know if they're not catfishing you. Like, you need to know they're a person or like that gender. If you're into that gender, like you need to
Mhm.
know.
But there are people
I mean,
in SL
yeah.
who never voice. Like there are people who
Yeah.
just don't
Right.
voice in SL. Like it has nothing to do with you, me, or the postman. Like
Yeah.
they're just people who just don't voice.
I
Yeah.
don't get that.
I
No
don't-
offense, but I don't get that.
She's like, no offense.
No, like I don't want someone to be in the comments like, "Oh, well, I never voice," and like that happens.
Crymson says sneaks behind Mousie's chair and pours her drink. But if you can emote decently enough, it sucks. But can I tell
Yeah.
you guys something? Too much. This is gonna be like TMI. I prefer okay. Let's talk about SL sex. I prefer texting
Yes.
than voicing.
I do
prefer
too.
voice.
I don't like voice. It makes me kind of uncomfortable.
You see what I'm
especially if I'm in a
saying?
relationship.
Okay, so let's talk
So
about this,
Right.
right? Like, let's talk about this. So, a person who doesn't want a voice, I think they're feeling the same way that we feel about sex text because it's
yeah,
maybe they're self-conscious.
that's true.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
a different
if
story.
you're with somebody and like you've been typing for a long time and you're like, okay, I just want to know like if you're really your person, and they're like making all these excuses and they're like, oh, I can't, like even just one time, then that's like a red flag. And some people ignore that, and I feel like you need to kind of know that.
So
On the
from
flip side,
uh-huh.
sorry, I was going to say here, on the flip side here, and I'm sure Adora can speak to this here more, but if it's something here where, I don't mean to say this here as like it's a lie, but if you're being a character in here and you're afraid of the repercussions of them hearing your voice, you get that.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay, so okay, to your point, Crimson. So what if there is someone who's a little older and they're living their best life in their 20s or 30s in SL, and they know they just want an SL relationship. They don't want a real life relationship. They want to be your partner to go out dancing with. They will go with you to all the shopping events. They will host backyard barbecues on your sim. Do whatever you want to do, but it's not going to translate to real life. And that's the relationship they want. What would be the problem with just texting?
There's no problem with it, in my opinion. But again, if your aim here is to go for real life, you got to make that clear.
Yeah.
I'm just saying here that there are people, for example, see here SL children all the time. Those are played by real humans, and they're not looking to hook up. They're not looking to do anything here. They just want to experience what it's
Hopefully.
like to be a child. Exactly.
Yeah. I've met a
So
few
it's
weirdos, but yeah, most of them are
eh,
like, innocent, yeah.
On the up and up. Like they just want to relive their childhood and have that nurturing experience.
No, that's completely cool. Yeah, I used to bash those people like all the time, but like now I don't do it anymore because I kind of understand it more. But yeah, like I think it's completely fine.
it's like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, but if little tiny Frankie came on voice and he was like, "Hey, yeah, hey, it's Frankie,"
Yeah.
I mean, imagine
it
how
kind of
men
ruined the
feel.
illusion.
Imagine how men feel when they see a door and then they hear my voice and they go, "Hey, bro, you wanna give me some Botox?" How
Well,
do they
and
feel?
and again here, the shocking of it here, you're an honest person, Adore. So it's something
No,
here where it doesn't occur to you here that like somebody might not want to eat that,
no, I was completely shocked when people were shocked by my voice. Like, like I just, I had a female avatar. Like, I was not under the impression it's gonna be a problem or even strange to some people. But eventually, people would ask me so many questions, like, "Why are you doing this? Like, why are you a female avatar?" And when I would get on voice, they'd be like, "Whoa!" Like, and I would always get taken back, like, "Oh, wait, why are they surprised?" Because it was so normal to me.
Yeah,
But
it's your
what's also
voice.
really funny, right? But what's also really funny is, especially recently, whenever men hit on my avatar, I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you so much," but like, you should know that I'm a man. They're like, "I don't care,"
Yeah.
At least you're honest.
Because
Yeah,
they want
that's
to
right?
go
better.
through with the fantasy, yeah.
Mhm.
But I never have like SL sex as a woman, like literally never.
That's interesting. I didn't know that, but I'm glad to hear. I mean, like, I'm not glad to hear it, but I'm glad that you told us that because I'm kind of like I'm when you said it, I'm like, wow, I was actually interested to know that. It's like I did.
I only do it as a man.
I kind of wanted to know that, even though I didn't know I wanted to know that. That's interesting.
You know what's
So you,
hilarious though?
mm,
Sorry, I was just gonna say, you know what's hilarious here? And I can only talk about this a little bit here because my other half here is nervous, but my understanding here, like I logged on to Second Life here when I was like 21 or 22. I was a virgin, very prude in my life. I hadn't talked a lot about my sexuality at all, and so like, when I came in here, guys were hitting on me left and right, asking if they could smell my shoe, that sort of thing here. So I was under the impression here that okay, guys are generally horny all the time, and
are we?
well, and that's the thing here is like that was the nice thing about meeting as many people as I have, because I learned here that tapers off. I learned here that that's not the case for a lot of guys. really they're seeking a connection just like we are.
Hmm.
I
And
mean, I'm horny right now.
but I'm just saying here, when you're with your LTR, it's something here where things tape down, and I was like shocked to find that out because I'm thinking, am I not sexy enough? Do I need to wear like more cute outfits around the house or something? I can't just change them like in Second Life,
Yeah. But you know what's so funny
Just
about
be
what you
naked.
said, Crimson? I had the opposite experience when I first started. I felt like all the guys were really helpful to me, and they were trying to move me into their parcel. They're like, you could live here and you could res here, and I'm like, oh,
Aw.
yeah.
I had the same experience
I
actually.
had so many
Men were
people
really nice
asking
to
me to
me.
move in. Yeah, when I first started
Mm-hmm,
SL.
mm-hmm.
See,
Same.
and that's so awesome. Like I can see that now here, like from from having a male alt, and seeing that here through his eyes, I can see now, like, oh yeah, well of course women think that, because I'm the one playing the guy.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding.
No, I feel like
Log into
guys,
them like,
I was really surprised because I had the opposite experience. I felt like the guys in SL like really wanted someone to go dancing with and just hang out with and just like really have a partner and just like a person that was committed to having, pose ball sex with them and no one else and everything like that. That was like super important to them too. But yeah, I didn't feel like all guys were like, "Oh, let's hook up." No, it was quite the opposite, which was interesting. But I also, as a new person, I wasn't on any adult sims either because I didn't really know about that world until later.
like when I first logged on to Second Life here, after it, like I spent an hour picking my nose, literally, like trying to figure out here which one I wanted. One of the first places here we visited here, it was just basically a sim full of pose balls. There was no privacy. They were just rezzed out everywhere.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, well, SL has really changed over the years. It's matured as a platform. And I think here a lot of the people in it, well, they realize again what they
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to say what I think the pros and cons are. I think the pros are pretty obvious, right? Is that you have someone, if you log in, even if you just want an SL relationship, like I've had a few relationships that were just purely SL relationships and maybe one transition into real life. Not maybe, but one transition into real life. And so basically, this is what happens. You have someone to have a lot of fun with. You have a +1 to go shopping with, take to events, and always someone to hang out with. Because I know everyone's always like, oh, you know what? SL's not fun because I can't make friends. That'll be the next topic, guys. I think making friends in SL. Because I can't make
I
any
want to make a
friends.
video on that personally.
Yeah.
Like a
Or
lot of
or
my
who
friends are
can
like,
you
I'm so
trust in
bored.
SL and things like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
another thing, like with the making friends. So that's a whole topic in itself. But
Sure.
people in relationships, SL relationships, I notice tend to kind of be platform hermits because you just have your partner and you don't really have to do much outside of like do little things for entertainment, like maybe surfing or role play dining or something like that. So that's obviously a pro. And this person truly does become like your best friend. And like Crimson said, you might be texting, calling them on Discord, even if you're not transitioned to real life, and sending pictures of what you're eating for breakfast and doing what the person becomes a part of your life, and it's pretty cool. And the con is that when it ends, it's gonna hurt, like because it's really gonna hurt because this is someone that you really cared about. And those of you who get in a little deeper, this is someone that you love, and it's gonna feel like an actual breakup, and it's gonna suck. You're not gonna be able to eat. You may be drinking a little bit more wine, be slightly distracted,
Very
and it's
true.
gonna suck. It's really gonna suck.
Very, very true.
So that's
My
the
most
con.
recent breakup, my most recent Second Life breakup, I legitimately like sobbed in real life. I did not
oh yeah.
leave my room for a few days. I did not eat, which is hard because I love eating.
Me too, me
but,
too.
but like
Mhm.
I genuinely like really loved this guy, and I still care about him, even though he really hurt me and everything. But yeah, it affects you like a real breakup. It really does. It's so weird. Like I've
So
had
true.
But it's
I've had
not
Second Life
weird because
breakups
you're hanging out
that
with this
were
person even more than real life.
yeah, no, of course. But I've had SL breakups that are more painful than like certain real life breakups. You know what?
Oh,
Like it's so interesting. I'll
I'm nodding. You can't
Yeah.
see me, but I'm like co-signing 100%.
say. High
Oh yeah,
five.
no. I remember husband number 4. I was crying so hard here. Like I've dealt with depression and stuff like that all my life, but because of that, that's what forced me to go to the doctor's office here to actually get medication because I was so upset.
Damn.
How long were you guys
Yeah.
together for?
We're only together here for like what? Not even 6 months.
But that's
And-
how many hours a day were you spending with this person?
As many as possible.
So this
Like
person's
seriously.
a
Same.
big part of your life, then they're gone like that.
Yeah.
It's like a death, really.
Well, and the thing is here, in the end, even though his words were nice, he was interested in roleplay. That's what he wanted. And it hurts here because that's why it's very, very important here you establish those boundaries right away. Because if somebody here is interested in roleplay, they're not going to make that crossover.
Did he tell you that in the beginning, and then you just hope that maybe, you know, that it'll develop into something more?
Not really. We didn't discuss it at all. We just kind of both assumed, and that was the problem.
And assumed wrong on both ends.
Exactly.
What do you do when someone wants to pressure you to like transition into real life and that's kind of like not your intention?
You gotta hold them. And sometimes here you have to let them go. That's what they want, then that's what for them to want that. But it's not okay for them to want that with you if that's not what you want.
Well, guys, thank you
You're
so
still
much.
filming.
Yeah, I'm wrapping up right now. Well, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
appreciate
Yeah, me
it.
too.
Say bye, Junie. Did you check out on us? Maybe Discord. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much. Please be sure to tune in for the next one. I hope this wasn't too long. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. So we're gonna sign off now. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Watch Adores following the Femmes. Check
Keeping
out
up with the lessons.
keeping up with the Femmes. My bad. Sorry about that,
Mhm.
Adore.
You're good, you're good, you're good.
The link will be below. Be sure to check out Izzy Solstice. You guys know where you can find the infamous, I shouldn't say infamous because that's bad, but the world-renowned, SL world-renowned Crymson Marder. And Junie's information will be down below, Pixel Chick Simmer. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.